relief that starts working in 30 minutes. That's a pretty good deal, especially with spring coming up. Oof. Pittsburgh reportedly getting closer to signing Aaron Rodgers. It's true. Giants also thinking about the four-time MVP who has thrown for 300 yards just once in his last 39 games. I'm back. Any reason for Aaron to pick the Giants over the Steelers?
He clearly is using the Giants to try to up the price with the Steelers. Why in the world, other than if you just love living in the New York area, but even since he's got here, it's just been one professional failure after the other. So, and money shouldn't be the factor, even though if he might be trying to drive it up.
What about wanting to
what
run
power?
the team?
Like if he reportedly he wants to play 2 more years. If they don't play well and he went to the Giants, that regime probably is gone, and then he won't be back for the second year.
But if he don't play well, then he's gone in anywhere
Pittsburgh,
he is.
I get that, but the issue is this: the Giants have no chance of winning next year. They're the worst team in their division, at best the 3rd team, not a playoff team, and you go to Pittsburgh. You got to, just because they always make the playoffs, you got a chance to make the playoffs. You've got better receivers. You got a better defense. Like, no better coach. There is no football reason imaginable for him to go to the New York Giants.
Well, I'll give you a football reason, and I'm gonna play into this. When you look at the receivers, because I know everybody's gonna look at, George Pickens and DK Metcalf is in Pittsburgh. That has to be better. But when you talk about the type of quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is, he loves separation. He can throw guys open. He likes really athletic guys. Now, I know Pittsburgh fans are probably hearing that and saying, well, that's George Pickens. Yeah, going straight down the field, that's about it. Back shoulder, that's about it. But Malik Neighbors, when you look at how Aaron Rodgers, he
might be the best individual
out
receiver
of the 3 of them.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He does everything better. So for me, that is the one
guy.
That's the one selling point that you got. Look, you got
2 in Pittsburgh.
Hold on, can I
you
say
had
another
one last
selling
year.
point? I think we do a bad job this time of year of acting like, well, the teams that were bad last year will obviously be the teams that are going to be bad next year. It's everything. The Giants have won a playoff game much more recently than the Steelers.
Correct.
The idea again, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a force multiplier for any team. I don't think he's going to get any team over the hump. I don't think any of those things. However, if Aaron Rodgers is closer to the quarterback that Brew thinks he can be than the one I think he can be, and it's not that you think he's great, but just then the Giants are a live dog. Then the Giants are a team that could, I understand, we look at the AFC North as one of, if not the toughest division in football. Yeah. Now, the NFC East right now with the Phillies, the defending champ, and the emergence of Washington looks like a really tough division as well, obviously. But, I think it's foolish to act, I'm not saying you're foolish. I think the idea is foolish that if any team adds a above average quarterback when their situation was the worst quarterback situation in the league or bottom 3, that's enough to change 5 games in the standings. But
see, that's my point. And you know this. Rodgers is not that guy anymore. Now, in a good situation like the Steelers, I think he can play well enough where you can maybe win the 11 games.
I don't know that I think the Steelers' offensive situation is better than the Giants' offensive situation when you remove the quarterbacks. I just don't know if I...
Out here trying to figure out.
Stop being Can we just...
Now remember, this is not a power ranking or a PER list. It's a rich tapestry of historical precedents, current performance, and aura.
It's not aura.
So without further ado, it's time for a tough segment, okay? All right? Get some wrenches. We're gonna docks.
Buddy, are you doing a stand-up bit?
I like this segment. I used to like this segment. Had butterflies in it. It's got green grass. And you're like, no, man, we gotta make it nasty.
I didn't say...
Nasty boys.
Again, I didn't say any of that. I just said that this week's edition, you're going to see some guys who have slipped down the hill. You're going to see some guys who were penalized for their performances this week. That doesn't strike me as overtly friendly, but regardless, here's the top 28 players in the league as of right now. 7th row first, please. A lot of show favorites had to slip. Devin Booker, listen, Durant's playing really well. Booker's playing fine. The team is still, what are they?
It's amazing. They just can't.
Mid.
Oh, they're mid.
They're
Mid.
mid.
They definitely
and
mid.
so they can't have two guys as high as they were, so he drops. Your guy, Şengün.
What did he do wrong?
He didn't really do anything wrong, but you're going to see we had to elevate some other guys who are really coming on strong.
Okay.
Garland and Fox dropped. Evan Mobley moved up because his team never loses. I actually think there is a stronger argument at this moment for him as their second best player than there is for Garland as their second best player. I know Brew agrees with me on that. All right, 6th row. These are guys right inside the top 20, most of them. Kevin Durant stays where he is, and then a bunch of guys who rose a lot. Harden's been excellent, man. He had a 50-point game this week. He's been the best player on that team. They've been pretty consistent. Jimmy, they just don't look like he has been the difference. Steph is playing at obviously an elevated level. Some of that Jimmy gets credit for.
Yeah.
Ja, that ferocious missed dunk made me more of a believer in the Grizzlies' chances of actually being a spoiler than almost anything that's happened this year, Brew, because they need that version of Ja, flatly.
Which is their best player. I mean, I know you're going to have Triple J.
Yes.
Ja should be
He
their best
needs to be their best player.
Yeah.
Triple J has been their best player, but for them to make some noise, Ja has to be the best player.
Agreed.
Jalen Williams, again, he's the Robin for the league's right now best team, or I guess you could argue second best team. I think from net rating, the record's close enough. Oklahoma City's probably the best team. And Jamal Murray, second best player for a team that looks super dangerous. And Jamal Murray also had a really nice week, as the Nuggets did as well. Now we get to the top 15. 4th row. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Triple J, and AD all stay where they are. We could have dropped Cat down. Cat obviously had a tough personal week and a tough week from how he played against the Lakers. We're going to leave him where he is. And Jaylen Brown moves up. Jaylen Brown moves up because I thought his performance in that Laker game was spectacular on both ends of the court. He was really good again last night, obviously, even though it was just against Utah. And now,
what's AD doing there?
Well, so I'm not sure what AD's. The rule is, if you're out for the season with an injury, you're off. If he's coming back when he's played, he's played like a top 10 player. Certainly deserves to be in the top 15. Feels weird to have him off. It also him on the same level as Şengün. So we could, argue about the mountain rules of it. But I'm like, all right. Now to your top 10. Fair's fair. LeBron's got to drop.
Wow.
Listen, because just like AD dropped, he was hurt. LeBron, he had been playing great, but also was holding. This guy's only missed 4 games.
Right.
Well, now he's going to miss 2 or 3 weeks probably. He's got to drop. I wanted to move Steph up. It felt like Steph